Long ago, in the quiet and sun-drenched hills of Akurumo village, nestled in the heart of eastern Agala land, lived a young man named Obika. Akurumo was the kind of village where every birdsong had a meaning, and every elder's word carried the weight of generations. Life moved slowly, guided by the rhythms of farming, storytelling, and tradition. Obika was the only son of Mama Ngozi, a widow well known for her wisdom and soft-spoken nature. Though poor, Mama Ngozi raised her son with deep values, respect, contentment, and the sacred belief that a good name is better than silver and gold. But as Obika grew, so did his thirst for something more. He began to envy the young men from Idwe village, who returned every dry season wearing fine clothes and speaking of fast wealth in big cities like Lokoja in Abuja. They laughed louder, spent freely, and carried themselves with an air of importance that fascinated Obika deeply. One evening under the moonlight, as elders told tales by the fireside, Obika leaned toward his friend Chinedu and said, "I'm tired of planting yam only to beg for palm oil. I want more out of life." Chinedu replied, "More is not always better, my friend. The wind that rushes past the tree often leaves it bare." But Obika had already made up his mind. The next morning, without telling his mother, he followed the path that led from Akurumo to Idwe. There he met Kelvin, a smooth-talking returnee who introduced him to a group known as the Light Circle. They claimed to help young men unlock destiny through ancient rituals passed down from hidden temples. Despite the warnings Obika had heard all his life, he accepted their offer. He was told to fast for 7 nights, bathe in a river at midnight, and swear an oath of secrecy with blood. In return, they promised him power, riches, and recognition. At first, everything seemed to work. Obika returned to Akurumo a changed man, wearing gold chains, riding a motorbike, and throwing parties that attracted people from nearby villages like Ifulu and Nsukwa. Even elders began to greet him with forced smiles, though their eyes were filled with questions. But deep within, Obika began to feel empty. His dreams were filled with screams. His wealth increased, but his peace vanished. He couldn't eat without vomiting, and no woman who stayed with him lasted more than a week. They all fled, claiming they heard voices at night. One fateful day, Mama Ngozi, who had been quietly praying for her son, fell ill. On her deathbed, she whispered, "My son, what will it profit you if you gain the world and lose your soul?" Those words haunted Obika. On the 7th night after her burial, he stood by the same river where he had bathed for the ritual. He shouted into the darkness, "If only I had known, if only I had listened." But it was too late. The next morning, the people of Akurumo woke to find Obika gone. His house was empty. Some say he ran mad and wandered into the forest. Others believe the spirits came to claim their own. What remained was a warning, etched into the memory of every young man who heard his tale. Today, when elders in Akurumo gather under the Udala tree to teach the youth, they end their stories with the words, "If only I had known, like Obika, may we never say." Moral of the story: greed has a loud voice, but wisdom speaks in silence. The path of quick riches may shine bright, but it often leads into darkness. He who honors his roots and walks with patience reaps joy that does not fade. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more.